did this with my hand, and like within the second, I like look up, and it looked like a cartoon. I literally thought it was just gonna like land in my lap. Yeah, whoever threw that, I don't know who threw it, but yeah, it was super close.
Welcome back to NASCAR Film Room. My name is Eric Estep, and I am joined by a very popular Talladega winner, Carson Hocevar. Carson, man, it's great to see you. It was an unbelievable race, but frankly, I think more folks are talking about that celebration. That was one of the most incredible things I've seen. I can't help but think, though, how much more incredible it would have been if you were able to catch the beer that won Fantos statue. How close were you to actually making this catch?
It was super close. It like stayed in the air. Like I like did this with my, because I saw him like going to left and right of the car, and so like I did this with my hand, and like within the second, I like look up, and it looked like a cartoon. Like it didn't look real, because it was like straight up, perfectly like it's just flying, and so that's why like you see me do this, because I literally thought it was just gonna like land in my lap. But like at the very last second, as it was coming down, it like spun right, and so that's where like I was like, oh, it's just gonna go a little right, and then it just barely fell behind me.
Just need to lead you a little bit more.
I know. I thought it was gonna be, perfect, but I was blown away for like literally. I just asked for like one because I saw it just flying, and at least I was like, well, if you're gonna throw it, I at least want to know where it's going.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, whoever threw that, I don't know who threw it, but yeah, it was super close.
That was awesome, though. I was dying when I saw that. I was like, he almost caught that. Well, I do want to ask. You said before we get into the highlights, this is a clip show. We're going to take a look at some film here in a moment, but I know you said after the race, like how vivid that moment felt, how you could like pick out and remember everyone you saw in the grandstands. I got to ask, like, has any of it been a blur? Like even the midnight run to Chili's the other night, like, or do you still remember it all as vividly as you did Sunday?
No, I still remember it all super vividly. I remember a lot of the race. Like I remember a lot of the finish, and then everything from every time from the white flag really to basically to the time I went to sleep. I remember every little detail of it.
That's awesome. That's super cool, man. Nothing like that first win feeling. Well, now we will get to some highlights, some key moments. I'm just going to start here, Carson. The big one, little past halfway. How the heck did you not make contact with anyone here? I mean, I don't know, you'll see you in the clip. You're in the third lane, like 10 rows back. I want to show your POV. How on earth did you get through this? Just take me through what you saw here.
Yeah, like I really thought they were, getting ready to wreck, or I felt like I was like, man, like this is about the time that there would be a wreck and everything, and everybody's pushing pretty hard. And so I think it was more so that I just had that thought like not longer than 5 seconds earlier. And then I saw one car just kind of just dart left at some point. And that's, kind of the tell sign that somebody's trying to avoid something or got turned. So I just kind of just got onto the brake pedal as hard as I could and tried to stay as far right as possible, because I figured if there's a car in front of me that I can't see, they're going to go left, just down the banking, because they'll probably have flat tires or hit, and just if they have flat tires, they're going to go left and go sliding. And yeah, but I was just really just kind of like, the whole time I was tensed up, bracing for impact, basically thinking somebody was going to spin from left and go right, or, maybe behind me and charge in. But no, like didn't hit a thing.
Nice. That's unbelievable. Those pictures, like the shot I showed a second ago from Gilliland's on board, like you just see the black Chili's car in the smoke somehow get out of it unscathed. I guess, there's a reason they made a movie about Talladega. The place is cinematic. It just gives you those shots, those moments. Carson, before we get to the final lap, a couple other moments. There's a couple moves I just want to get your take on. We hear drivers talk all the time with the cup cars at the big super speedways. They're so draggy. You pull out a line, you get hit by a wall of air. There's so much wind resistance, but there are a couple moves you made to keep your track position. I'll show this one. I think I have a couple angles of it to get to the outside of Chris Buescher. How were you able to pull off this move? If you're able to kind of take us through it.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing that I was just trying to, just get to his right rear and just try to get up. I wanted to be on the top side at that point of the race. So realistically, it was just kind of I just had a little bit more momentum and energy to get there, but I didn't just pull all the way out to get that block of air. Like as I was pulling out, I was able to just get to his right rear
Mm-hmm.
and still kind of have the draft as I was getting there, and then kind of pull him back and side draft him. That was probably the main reason of it working. I feel like you can get to people's right rear quarter panels. It's just hard to build a run and clear anybody with the drag. But I feel like you could turn, right. You could get a row, or get placement on somebody and kind of drag them back a little bit and side draft and get position a little bit. But it's really hard to just kind of pass anybody by yourself.
And a similar move here, it's a little later. I was impressed with you here because at this point you fall to third. You have two cars in front of you, the 43 and the 17, but you didn't panic here and you were able to get back to the outside of Eric Jones. Was this kind of just the same thing? You just sort of rolled to his right rear quarter?
Yeah, pretty much just the same deal. Like just ultimately, especially being third, I didn't want to be third at all. I was really nervous though that he, when I got to his right side, he like drove me up the racetrack and he was kind of running the middle. I was really nervous he was just going to hold the middle and not turn down. I was really nervous that I was just going to be third lane all by myself for a second, but it worked out. And then right here I felt like our car is really good at pushing, that I could push people out and then kind of get us rolling there. So when I got the 17 kind of clear, then I was a little bit better positioned for sure. I wanted to be for sure in the first two spots, especially knowing that a caution could come out at any point. I didn't want to be lined up on the second row at any point.
Yeah, no, for sure. Holding on to first, second, to your point, to keep that track position in the case of a restart, super important at Talladega nowadays. Before we get to the final lap, one last clip. The contact with Eric Jones, I know that stemmed from getting a push from Ricky Stenhouse coming off of turn 4. Take me through your POV. I know you had said, I think a few laps before, you'd radioed, hey, I'm a little loose, maybe take it easy on the pushes. Like what happened here? I think I have a couple different angles of it. Just what led to this spin, this contact?
Yeah, I mean, it was similar to how I got spun at Talladega. I think the 47, or when I was texting Ricky about it, I asked him if I looked squirrely, and he's like, no, you look pretty smooth. I was like, dude, I was so loose anytime he was pushing me. And he texted me that he just got to me a little early, and he had what he thought was the 9 pushing him. So you kind of have two cars pushing on exit, and that was pretty much what happened to me at Daytona. Two cars pushing. It's not a corner, but trial still acts like a corner. And two cars pushing, and gets two cars pushing, that pushes the third car, normally gets the third car squirrely, especially on exits of corners. And it just caught me offset, and I got loose and wasn't really expecting it. But yeah, luckily I was just really happy my toe link wasn't bent or anything.
Yeah,
luckily
it was a big hit.
It door slammed me, center punched the door, and not anything else.
Yeah, no, those, we saw all day. We've seen it all the super speedways. You mentioned Daytona. It doesn't take much of a bump draft gone wrong to potentially spark a huge incident, but you kept it going straight. Last lap, you're door to door with Chris Buescher. You're where you want to be. You're on that front row. You're first, second, jostling back and forth. I'm just going to kind of let this run. I mean, let me know if you want me to pause it at any point, slow it down, rewind, but how were you able to keep the 48 attached, keep the 17 to your outside? How were you able to win this race in the final lap?
Yeah, I mean, Alex was helping me a lot. The biggest thing that I was just watching the 17 the whole time, just, praying he didn't clear me and, turn left basically. And, right here, it's just, we're all slamming. And here I was really shocked that we had as big of a run as we did, because the 9's pushing the 47 really hard. And he's locked in. So they have 3 versus almost 2. And I was really shocked that we were together so well. But, me and Alex actually felt like we had a lot of energy when we were locked on together to each other. And ultimately what saved me the most is he stayed longer connected into 3 than Ricky. and Chris, and it seemed like there were a lot of times that Chris and Ricky kind of they didn't have as good of a launch together as whether it's the manufacturer noses and rear bumpers being different, so they don't line up, but especially like on restarts, it took them a while to kind of get rolling, and that's where I knew we were in a good spot. Was there was a restart way earlier that me and Bowman kind of cleared and took off by ourselves, and so when I came off 4 right here, I figured they would probably jump third lane at some point. Like Ricky is going to try and win the race himself and everything.
Yep.
And so the second I knew that I was on the bottom and kind of had momentum, I was just waiting to kind of see in my peripheral vision of my mirror of them go right. And if they went right, I knew we were going to, just take it home as long as, nothing, a meteor didn't hit the track basically. But, and the bottom's such an advantage too, just because of that. Like they can't go anywhere. They have to push you. So there's just a lot of energy there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking watching the finish. I'm like, you can almost use that double yellow line as a way to defend. I mean, I know behind us we have a pause here. Zane Smith was able to get to the inside and sort of jam up, dislodge the inside lane a bit. But to your point, you also see Stenhouse, Chase, they're all going right. I remember, I think it was a few years ago when Ross Chastain won this race. I think he won.
Everybody just turned right.
Exactly.
Everybody just turned right and let him have it.
And he just rolled bottom. So it worked out then. It worked out okay for you here, Carson. Big win at Talladega, man. That's huge. That's historic. Congratulations. Thanks for spending some time with us here in the NASCAR film room, and good luck this weekend at Texas. I know you're pulling double duty around the truck race as well. Have fun, and we'll hopefully get to talk to you again soon, man.
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it.